Kirk's killing has sparked a lot of conversation about political violence.
So joining us now is Professor Lauren Young with the UC Davis Department of Political Science. Thanks for joining us. Political influencers now on both sides are on social media. Millions of followers we're talking about, and they're reaching younger audiences. So how is this changing the landscape of American politics?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a horrible event. And I have been studying political violence outside of the US for my whole career. And I think one thing that we can see in a lot of the research on political violence is that, elite rhetoric, whether from politicians or from influencers, can really change the perception that people have of how socially acceptable violence is, right? Many people who participate in violence are doing it because they think they're protecting their community. They think they're doing something altruistic. So I absolutely think that can matter.
So we have Charlie Kirk, he's conservative on the right. We have people like Hasan Piker on the left. So, this is something that's grown in recent years on social media. Is it a healthy place to debate?
Social media is complicated. I think there's a lot of work going on trying to, get people back into face-to-face communication where it's easier to be empathetic. It's easier to really listen to people. That said, I think it's not only social media and these kind of, online environments. There's also really strong research suggesting that the institutional context, right, the quality of democracy matters, right? That's something that can both exacerbate political violence when democracy is in decline, in states that combine elements of autocracy and democracy, and those, of course, can be exacerbated by it too.
Explain that, though. Democracy in decline. What does that mean?
So when democracy is in decline, political scientists think of democracy as having both, a kind of participation or an electoral component, and also a component where the government, especially the executive, is supposed to be constrained, right, by the legislature or Congress, by the judiciary, by things like the Bill of Rights. So, when any of those starts being encroached on, when we look at countries around the world, we can say, okay, this is, a case where democracy is becoming less high quality than it was in the past.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight and something that we'll definitely continue to talk about. Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you very much.